All right, thank you for staying with us. This morning, let's talk about democracy. And of course, you can do that without talking about political parties, which are the vehicles where, given by the law, that's the provision given by the law as the vehicle that people join, to either be part of the process or to even aspire to be one thing or another, in as much they have that particular um, you know, requirement to vie for these offices, either at the local level, the state level, or even at the national level. Now, talking about that, you can't talk about that in Nigeria at this time without talking about the party at the national level, talking about the All Progressives Congress, APC. And it seems there is a crisis brewing in that party in the state of the living spring, talking about the Guber candidacy or aspirants having issues within that party, and talk about Osun State. The people of Osun State will be going to the polls August 8, 2025 is the date where they'll be making up their minds either to renew the mandate they gave the incumbent Governor Ademola Adeleke, or to have, shop for alternative to occupy, the Abere office of the state. And, as far as the APC is concerned, uh, before now, they've had very many aspirants, like 8 or 9 of them actually declared their intention to fly the flag of that party. But towards the weekend, last week, there is a news that emanated that the All Progressive in Osun disqualified, a number of aspirants, many of them, and have been reacting to that decision. And they include a former deputy governor and former national secretary of that same party, Senator Omisore, another former deputy governor, Benedict Olugboyega Alabi. He was deputy to Alhaji Igboyega Oyetola, and 4 other governorship aspirants ahead of the party's primary election slated for December 13, 2025. Others disqualified are Prince Dr. Abayomi, Dr. Akin Ogunbiyi, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Kunle Adegoke, another lawyer, a former senator, former presidential aide on the National Assembly, Senator Babajide Omowurare, and Babatunde Akata Oralusi. Now, the 7-man screening committee, headed by Barrister Obina Uzo, in a report submitted to the party's organization department Friday, cleared Honorable Mulikata Diolajimo and Ashiwaju Muridun Bola Oyebamiji for the December 13 party primary election. Now, the cleared aspirants were found to have fulfilled the regulatory requirement as stipulated by the party's guidelines, the Constitution, and the Electoral, Act. Now, because of time, they talked about the reason why those disqualified were disqualified. They said upon careful review, the committee found the issues raised in the petition to be weighty, substantial. Now, we learned there was a 6-page report signed by members. The committee claimed it received a petition from one Osun APC renewal group urging the disqualification of 2 of the aspirants, petitions here and there. And finally, they have been disqualified. They talked about some of them not being nominated properly by members from their wards and all of those things. But some are saying, excuse us, maybe there is more than meets the eye. And there have been reactions from the camps of those that were disqualified. We'll look into the reaction shortly, but we have with us today an APC member. He was an aspirant. He wanted to become a member of the House of the Osun State House of Assembly from Ilesa West, and he joins us in the studio. Barrister Abayomi Ojo, thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you for having me. Good
All
morning.
right, it's good to have you here.
Yeah,
and at the other end, we have a journalist, a public affairs analyst, and by the way, talking about antecedents, he was the chief press secretary to former Governor Igboyega Oyetola. Ismail Omipidan joins us virtually. Good morning, Mr. Ismail. Mr. Omipidan, if you can hear us, good morning. We can't hear you. Please speak up. Mr. Omipidan. All right, we'll try and fix that. Mr. Abayomi Ojo, are you bothered by what the people have called crisis in your party? And they're talking about implosion, that, you know, partly this is what happens. The moment you are welcoming everybody from every angle into your party, you know, these are people with big ambitions. And now it's time to make a decision and your party is in crisis. Are you bothered?
I am not bothered. And the party is not in crisis.
Really?
Let me tell you something. This is part of the beauty of democracy and part of the beauty of politicking. If 100 people decided to contest for a seat, one will be picked. So this is not new. And I want to tell the good people of our party in Osun State that this storm will be over very soon.
So it's a storm?
It's a
not
storm.
A crisis.
No, not a crisis.
Really?
It is normal in politics, where you have people aspiring for a post. You see 2, 3, 4, 5 people coming together to say, I want this particular seat. There will be contest. And when you eventually decided to pick one, others will be aggrieved. The most important thing at this stage is for the party to look at it. This is internal conflict between our party and those who are actually contesting for that seat. And all we have to do right now is look into it and to resolve it amicably. This is a family affair.
All right,
it's not a crisis.
So what you did, the screening, it was just, I mean, you said you picked. So it was just hand-picking. That was what your screening was about.
We've not picked.
Okay.
There will be election on Saturday, December 13th of this month. The party sold the form. They bought. Those who has interest, they submitted. And the National Working Committee of the party set up a screening committee. You see, these are the procedures in the party. Now, the screening committee looked in depth, looked into what these people presented, not only their certificates. Okay. You understand? They also have to look at them one by one. Do these people, do they even what they said they are? And now, the screening committee got the petition that 2 of the gubernatorial aspirants didn't fulfill a particular obligation. And now the screening committee decided to say, oh, let us look at this issue critically. The 9 of them contesting for this seat. Let us even check the petition submitted. Let us go through it so that we won't be biased. Now, if we have to look at the petition accusing 2 people out of 9, that is going to be wrong. Now, let us look into all the aspirants and check.
Why will it be wrong? If the petition is again just 2, why don't you just go ahead with the other?
Now, let me tell you something. That is why I said this is internal matter. The party, the National Working Committee of the party set up a screening committee, which they have to screen everybody. Now, I'm saying Mr. Hay does not have primary 6 certificates. The screening committee will have to look at it and say, we're not only going to look at the certificate of Mr. Hay. Let us look at the certificate of everybody. You know, that petition came in as an eye opener. You understand? So now they had to look into it and said, okay, these people didn't really fulfill this particular obligation.
I'd like to ask you at this point, all these obligations that you're talking about, did these people know that it was a prerequisite for the screening?
You see,
were they aware?
They should be aware. Now, let me tell you something. There is a party called APC.
Okay.
We have a constitution, which is supreme to every member of the party. Now, when you look at our constitution, Article 9 talks about the membership. And when you continue to look down, you see where this article says, one, you must be 18 years above. It shows even if you are below 18, you are not to be a member of APC. Now, this article is also saying, if you are a member, you are up to 18, you want to join the APC, you must pay your due. It shows you being a member of a party, you must also be committed. Now, this article moves further. When it gets to Article 20, this thing is also, the article is also saying, whoever that wants to contest must pay his party dues. You understand? So now, when you also look at Article 31, this article is also saying, you know, let me also go back to Article 20. If you look at it, and Article 9, it says shall pay. You know, it shows it is a must for every member of APC to pay.
So does that mean all of these persons, you know, I had to come in here because we have a lot of questions and the time is of essence, and you are trying to lay it down, I dare say, on a lighter note now. This is not APC Masterclass 101. Actually, we just want to know the reasons why these persons have been disenfranchised. But then I'll come back to you. Mr. Ismail Omipidan, can you hear us now, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning.
All right, we can hear you too.
Very well, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Same question. It seems, right, you know, I've seen a couple of your take on this matter, even before the decision of, by the way, as a journalist, as critical stakeholder in Osun State, and it may be in Osun politics as well, you have highlighted some things, and maybe until now, and I'd like you to take you on, some would say this crisis in the APC is, just like the guest in the house said, it's internal, but this is just implosion happening. That, you know, when you are having all of those persons defect to your party, you are very happy. You should know they come with big ambitions for the ones that have been in the party before, for the ones that have come into the party, only for them to pick up the nomination forms, and then a particular screening committee said they received petitions, and when they looked at it, this disqualified all of them, like 6 of them, only endorsed 1 or 2 of them, a man and a woman. And there are some that will say there is more, you know, that meets the eye of what is happening. Do you really think, or do you believe that notion that this is implosion in the Osun APC?
Well, first, let me say with all sense of modesty that in any political environment, what is happening within the APC is expected. And don't forget this popular African adage that when 2 brothers lock up themselves in a room to tell themselves the bitter truth, and if they storm out of the room smiling, it means they have succeeded in deceiving themselves. But when they storm out of the room with frowning faces, you know that they probably would have told themselves some bitter truth. And the Supreme Court judgment is very clear that once you decide to belong to a society, an association, whether political or otherwise, you are bound by the rules governing that society. That was why the court found it very difficult to interfere in the matter between Natasha and the Senate. Having laid that foundation, for me, I wouldn't conclude that what is happening is an implosion, because we have not seen anybody saying it's moving out of the party, and we have not seen anybody threatening fire and brimstone. However, what I do know is that for you to qualify as a governorship candidate, whether in PDP, APC, or ADC, there are certain conditions that you must meet. And it is only the party that can decide whether you have met those conditions or not.
All right. I'd like to ask you, Mr. Omipidan, with this report here on Vanguard newspaper, it says, I read in part, speaking on behalf of the aggrieved aspirants, Omisore dismissed the report as the Joker's report of the year, alleging that the panel submitted multiple contradictory documents and that the version taken to the party secretariat was not the authentic report. So on this note, I'd like to ask you, what was the authentic report, if you were privy to that? And then, on what grounds did the Constitution, fault these people or disqualify them? Were they aware of what the provision of the Constitution said?
Well, I'm not a member of the APC, neither am I a member of the screening committee. But if the reports in the public domain is anything to go by, he who alleges must prove. If Otumba Omisore is alleging that there were 3 other reports, I think what a critical reporter should do would have asked him to avail him of those reports, because when you have when you make a claim, you should be able to substantiate it. For me, as a person, I detest making outlandish claims, and that is why most often when I want to appear in public engagements like this, I'm usually very, very careful of what I say. Having said that, from the reports I read from Friday up to early this morning, what the party said was that those who were disqualified because they did not meet certain conditions, one of which was that they have not been duly nominated by 5 delegates from each of the local governments that make up the state. That is 30 plus 1. Now, asking whether they are aware of those conditions, I will be very, very much surprised if any of them say they are not aware, because I do know that before you pick up your nomination form, there was a proper advertisement on the conditions that you must meet, to scale through. And Otumba Omisore, being a former national secretary of that party, should know as much, if not more than any of.
All right, Mr. Omipidan, if you say that with his pedigree in the party before this time, that he should know, so why then would he deliberately flout it?
Well, human beings can be very, very funny. And if you don't forget that at the onset of his mobilization and consultation, he was accused of, promoting himself as the choice of the president. I overheard some of the party members claiming that he said it was the president that asked him to run. And with what has happened now, those who he may have told that will probably now begin to want to see from the illusion and the reality. Human beings can be very funny. Not all of us are usually very sincere when it comes to our dealings with our fellow human beings. Things that we are aware of will come out to say that we were never aware of it.
All right.
That's how I will respond to that.
Permit me to come here, talking about it. It was not just the disqualification didn't just affect Senator Omisore, Dr. Abayomi, Dr. Guber, Mr. Oralusi, Kirat, Kule Adegoke, and the rest of them. But I'm sure there is this video that has gone viral. I will allow you to see it again, and our people to see it as well. Talking about the reaction of those that have been disqualified. We pick it from there.
7 what out of 9? 7 out of 9. I know you're a faith person. 7 out of 9 aspirants. That's 50%. So what is your take on the decision taken by the panel?
Well, the panel report was we're in December,
Yes, sir.
That's the jokest. That's the jokest report of this year. We're in December, and I mean the other one was the combination. If my people believe the record joker report. I don't know. So it's quite unfortunate that people are taking partisanship beyond the politics, and that we believe that the panel members, they had 2-3 reports. They have the original report, they have the one they change at the secretariat, and then the one they are parading. As you speak today now, none of my colleagues have seen their report. Why and why would
interestingly, there is a new coinage of a new word, jokers. Actually, Barrister Ojo. Now, let me ask you this in clear questions, right? Before we go to Mr. Omipidan again, that when you look at the status and the stature of these individuals, they are, people that you think know their onions. You talk about an Otumba Omisore, who has been a former deputy governor. He has been the man who superintended the secretariat affairs of your party at the national level, a national secretary. You talk about a Benedict Alabi, who has been a former deputy governor. You talk about Akunle Adegoke, senior advocate of Nigeria. Now, and other persons, with due respect to them, you mean all of those persons will not know the proper process of authentic nomination to become an aspirant? Take Otumba Omisore, for example, a national secretary of your party, a deputy governor. That's why I had to hint on those, those antecedents of them. You mean they will not understand the place of filing properly and having the proper nomination? Don't you find that ridiculous? In clear conscience, really?
Let me be sincere with you.
Please be. And to Nigerians.
I am surprised. And let me tell you, as a journalist,
right,
you are not a politician. You are the one hyping them.
How so?
That
it wasn't a national secretary.
To us, they had gubernatorial aspirants.
But he was a national secretary.
He was.
He was a former deputy governor.
He was.
Another former deputy governor.
Now, let me tell you something.
Right, tell me.
This is politicking. They are members of the party. We have a constitution which is supreme to everybody. A president of a country might go to court and lose a case. It does not matter the status. You understand? So, if you are saying the former national secretary of the party, former senator, former deputy
because
governor,
that same man has been the one superintending secretarial duties at the national level.
Now,
so ordinarily, this is the basis of my question. You expect that logically he should know.
They should.
So, don't you find that ridiculous? That's my question.
It's really, really surprising.
That the party has now put up these reasons, and that's why they are qualified.
Now, if you see, you check the reason, you will see, you'll have to go back to our constitution, and you find it there. Those people are not biased. I mean, the screening committee.
Okay.
Now, let me read Article 9.
Go ahead.
1.
Quickly.
Sub 4 for you.
Right.
It says, upon enrollment as a member of the party, every member shall pay the prescribed fees and shall be issued with a membership card and a dues card. Take it from there. That's Article 9. Now, let me go straight to
Barrister,
31.
We understand all of this.
Now, I just want to, why I'm actually telling you this is, don't look at the screening committee as people who gathered to do their own personal placard. No. They were nominated by the National Working Committee to do a particular job. Screen these aspirants. There were 9. The screening committee did not say 7 of you should come. The remaining 2 should be exempted. The remaining 2, I mean, Dr. Mulikat Abiola and Asiwaju Bola Muneridin Oyebanji. The screening committee did not say the 2 of you should go to the villa and start hitting. We'll get back to you. The screening committee said we screened the 9 gubernatorial aspirants.
Okay.
You understand? So 7 of them did not meet up. And why are we? And that is why I'm saying this is internal matter. We will resolve it.
Okay, I'll ask you this. He said, according to him, the claim that he failed to secure the required 5 nominators by local government was baseless. Would he call that baseless? I mean, I should ask you, in the past, as this constitutional, I mean, this part of the constitution, has it been used against other aspirants for disqualification?
let me tell you something. This morning, you know, we have the APC Constitution 2014, then as amended 2022. You understand? So these are inside the Constitution of the party, which you have to look into.
Okay, so are you saying this part of the Constitution came in when the amendment took place? Or it has been existent?
It has been existent. It has been there. You see, you can only say this is coming. Maybe they input that when we want to have Osun gubernatorial primary election. No, this has been there for years. And that is why I'm saying this is really, really amazing. We have a senior advocate there. So, and that is why I'm saying, if you now sit down and start saying former senator, former this,
now, I'm not the one
that,
sitting there. Is there a line in all of those?
No, you definitely want to make them feel, oh, because I'm a former senator. That's why they don't want to be there. I'm talking from the place
of knowledge that you expect.
Yes, now I am also telling you, the party constitution is supreme.
All right, let's go to Mr. Omipidan. Mr. Omipidan, now, you heard me. I would like you to respond to that. But let me add as well that, you know, the news from the street is that the APC, there is a way they run it. And it looks more like a Baba Sokwe. I'm sure you've heard that before. Meaning there is a big man who dictates the affairs, and it's either you fall in line or you fall out of the line. Now, while reacting to these issues on behalf of the other disqualified aspirants, we're aware, that's Otumba Omisore, that the panel have 2 or 3 reports. The one taken to the Secretariat wasn't the original report. As we speak today, and let me go away from that. And it said you can see for yourself that when you disqualify people like us in any contest, where do we go from here? The party is pointing at failure. And of course, he made a damn near allegation against the chairman of the screening panel, claiming that the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy and former Osun State Governor, that's your former boss, Mr. Omipidan, ordered that all the aspirants be disqualified to pave the way for his preferred candidate, Oyebamiji. He told us that Minister, this is quoting him now, he told us that Minister Gboyega Oyetola called him that they must disqualify all of us because he wants his, according to him, very strong words, lucky, his poster boy, Oyebamiji. And these are the issues. I'd like you to react to that according to what he said, and other persons have been saying, APC, right? There is one Baba, that's Sokwe somewhere. It translates to there is one big man who dictates the affairs. So you better whip yourself in line or you get out of that frame. And he has accused your former boss of being the one orchestrating this. And people have been saying it is the Ilerioluwa tendency again that want to reign supreme. How do you react to that?
Well, I am not the spokesperson to Oyetola, and as I speak this morning, I think I have read the reaction from Oyetola's spokesperson, Dr. Bolaji Akinola, where they also put a lie to the claim by Otumba Omisore. Up to this moment, I have not heard anything from the National Secretariat to support the claim by Ilesa Omisore that there are 3 reports in circulation. Again, I also listened to the Arise News where Adigo KSN was addressing a press conference. Now, if you have that clip immediately, if you don't have it now, you can go to it. Now, if you look at that encounter and that of Ilesa Omisore, you will know that there is a clear departure from the poster of Ilesa Omisore from that of Adekunle Adegoke SN. With due respect, for me to agree that Ilesa Omisore is speaking on behalf of the 6 other applicants, I will be glad to hear from them because as a reporter who had reported the National Assembly before, I can say with all sense of modesty that I know the character and personality of Senator Ilesa Omisore very, very well.
What's that?
Having said that, from my reading of the constitution of the APC...
Mr. Omipidan, what do you mean by his character, Omisore's character?
No, I wouldn't want to go into that now because...
No, you have hinted at it already. Now, you should tell us what you mean.
I will be... I don't want to be accused of taking sides, so I want to be excused from that for now. But at the appropriate time, probably in my upcoming book, Nigerians will read more about that phase. But having said that, from my reading of the APC constitution, with regards to nomination of a governorship candidate, I dare say that whoever crafted, or those who may have sat down to craft that provision, did it deliberately in such a way that if you do not have the party structure in your hand, there is no way you can fulfill that provisions of the constitution. That is my conclusion after reading those provisions. So for me, what probably played out in Osun clearly shows those who have the party structure in their firm grip.
All right. Interesting place. Talking about party structure, I remember in 2018, this same man, Ilesa Omisore, was consulted actually because he ran on the platform of the SDP then, and he could widely be believed that maybe he's safe today in a kind of way for the APC that made that, especially that rerun in 2018. You understand what I'm saying? But we'll go on a break right now. Mr. Omipidan and Barrister Abayomi Ojo. We take a quick break, and Nigerians, when we return, we speak to other issues because there are reactions from the PDP, and many of them are already reacting to say, like it's a done deal for them. If APC goes ahead to nominate and make Murideen Oyebamiji their candidate. I like your reactions about that. Will be after now. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. Stay with us.